I please have a big round of applause for Miss Stephanie Hottenhuis.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning. And I'm going to pick it right where Ian, the previous speaker, actually stopped, because I'm going to talk about ESG and sustainability in the broadest sense. And in the morning, we saw that we are here to learn, to share, and to enjoy. I think my task is also to make you a little bit uncomfortable. So if I have done it right at the end, you will be self-critical. Am I doing enough? Is my organization doing enough? So there will be a feeling of action, but also a feeling of urgency, the famous burning platform. And I want to start with sustainability is the new digital. We heard that we are on the journey of the digital transformation already for 15 years. And you're in the forefront. It is your responsibility, your accountability, your passion, your job, your life. But another tidal wave of change is sweeping over us, and it is sustainability. Sustainability in the broadest sense. 17 goals, sustainable development goals, which now can be measured, can be focused on, can be compared, thanks to ESG, environmental social governance, giving us the tools to be able to compare companies between the ones that are investing in the future and the ones that are not so keen about it. Compare projects. Which projects are sustainably building and allowing us to grow within the limits of the planet, and which are not. Giving information to investors to choose which organizations to invest in. Giving information to employees, the war for talent that we just heard about. If we thought the millennials are very sustainability-driven, wait until, and we are already seeing Gen Z enter the workplace. Generation Z is even more passionate about it. And the difference between the millennials and the Gen Z is that Gen Z are not forgiving. They're bellicose. The millennials, they're getting in an age when they're, getting married, getting a husband, a wife, a partner, a dog, a cat, and all these things. But Gen Zs are out there on the barricade, and they're saying, you are to blame, which we didn't hear from the millennials. Think of Greta Thunberg, and you will see what I mean. They're saying, I'm looking at you, and at you, and at you, and you are to blame, because if you don't move, I will have to pay the price. And they will not want to work for us. They will choose to work for somebody else if we do not persuade them that we are serious about sustainability. Now, why is it the new digital? Because it is transformative. Like in the new digital age, we understood, and nobody is quizzing and nobody is critical about the simple fact that every company is a digital company, that you do not have a future as an organization if you do not embrace digitization. The same holds for sustainability. Business models are truly changing. Like with digitization, you remember what a disruptive, creative period that was around 2000, and after that when new companies emerged, companies that were startups in their space, that actually changed the way we travel, changed the way we go to hotels, changed the way we experience education, changed the way we meet our partners. Everything got digitized. That is exactly what is happening with sustainability. And we see it already. And last year, my company did a worldwide survey which says, shockingly, that now 70% of company valuations is not driven by financials anymore. And it's rising. Every year it's less. 70% of companies' valuation are looking at other things than bottom line. And that's a good thing, because it means that we will allow that disruption, that disruptive period, to change our business models. We already have had last year 2 cases of planned IPOs that didn't go through for companies also in the Netherlands, because people shone light on issues regarding people, how you're treating your employees, or your employees, are they real employees, how are you paying and treating them, what are the labor conditions, and so on. And we are seeing this all the time. If it is the new digital, it means that all of us, all our companies, all of us as individuals will sustainabilize, like we digitize. We digitized everything. We have to move in making everything sustainable. And there is a change in that, because what we had before, and there were companies that were already differentiated about it, we had a chief sustainability officer, they were thinking of certain strategies, marketing got involved, communicating what we did, where there was a charity aspect of it, corporate social responsibility. These days are gone. They're gone. Nobody is interested what you do on the side of your business. What investors and employees and society is interested in is how you embed sustainability, the E, the S, the G, into your business, into your daily operations. And it is really simple, because if you're doing it on the side, it's costing you money. You have to build it in your organization so that it actually delivers profit for you and opportunity. And that is a big difference with the mindset of where we are today. Survey, again, results show that over 70% of the leaders understand that that's important, that they have to engage innovation and with their teams in order to drive this sustainable development. However, the same survey shows that less than 40 know how. So we're in this, again, creative space where the will is there. If you ask leaders, if I ask you, you will say, of course I want. However, we are a little bit in the groping area of the how. That is why it is not tomorrow, it is really now that we have to grab the data necessary to be able to measure, to be able to link systems, and to be able to deliver the information that is necessary to make the right decisions. And we need knowledge for that. A lot of exchange. That's why it's good that you're here. But all of us have to be a little bit vulnerable, because, as Ewan again said, we're pretty clueless. If it is the digital age, we're at the floppy disk step regarding sustainability. There is a lot of new information that we have to understand. We have to create a common language. Even the regulation that we spoke about, very powerful regulation, good for Europe, because Europe is, again, it's exercising its soft power. You know, we can complain that Europe didn't defend itself with enough weapons, now that we see what's going on in Ukraine, but Europe surely weaponed itself with consumer protecting regulation. And part of that regulation, CSRD, and the taxonomy developed, is going to create measurements of how we measure the E and the S. And that is important, because if you don't measure, if you can't measure it, it's not there. We have to be able to measure in order to compare. And is it going in the best way? Probably not. Some regulation, not very clear. We're still arguing whether nuclear is sustainable or not. Countries differ on this opinion. Regulation actually put a lot of pressure on investors and on asset managers. You see pension funds in the Netherlands really being stern about it. Not on issuers, on the companies themselves. Kind of the wrong way out, if you ask me. But doesn't matter. We have to be a little bit forgiving because we are very, very early on in the game. And I'm encouraging you and inviting you to be curious and to learn. My company set up an institute together with Nyenrode called the ESG Innovation Institute, where we just want to share best practices, information, create a common language. You know, if we talk to each other and I say, oh, are you busy with Horizon 3? I want you to understand that we're talking about the same thing. These are useful things. So I would encourage you to get into the action mode and learn and be curious. And not be ashamed if you don't know it, because none of us know a lot at this stage. Just be vulnerable. Say, I don't know. And I want to talk about this one. It's not someone else. It's you and it's me. We have looked at multinationals, and if they want to, and they've decided already, this is my E, this is my S, and if they want to provide the data, it's about 300 controls that they have to work on. 300 controls that are coming not from one system, but from every single system in the world. It's coming from your HR data, it's coming from your supply chain, it's coming from your operations, how much electricity you use, what waste, water usage, and so on and so on. And if you have chosen right, things that really matter, because each company has to do this soul searching and to find out what matters for me, then we will all come to you and say, oh, I actually need the data. Can you please provide this data? And can you link it? So if we don't want to end up in this famous spaghetti again, you know that metaphor, I think you probably hear it daily in your jobs, get involved. Get involved. Start talking about what are our greatest impacts. What is our game on the E and the S and on the G, the governance of it, early. Because if you don't get involved early, you will have much more work at the back end where companies have not thought about how to get this data and how to be able to measure. For example, human rights throughout your supply chain. For example, diversity. And what kind of diversity can we measure? And I think we all have another role to play, and that is the role of leadership. Taking our teams along with passion and with courage and with curiosity, because this is what it really needed now in order to be an attractive employer. And lastly, work together, collaboration. It's a too huge a challenge to use it as a competitive advantage. We really have to share. We have to talk about our ecosystems, aligning the language and the knowledge, getting things done together. So this is my challenge and an ask from you. Thank you very much. Thank you.